Tonight, a Houston family is talking for the first time about a minor car crash that left their loved one dead.
That family is pointing the finger now at an airbag maker already at the center of a national recall. Isiah Carey is live in the newsroom with the Isiah Factor Uncensored. Isiah?
Well, guys, the airbag didn't really take off until 1984. We were promised a new device that would keep us alive on top of our seatbelts. But what the hell happened? We have seen a half dozen cases where the airbags did more damage to drivers than the actual crash. In those cases, people are now dead. And while drivers die, we're all getting more hearings and more prolonged bureaucratic investigations around this country with no real action as of yet. That's left one Houston family demanding answers, as they should. It looked just like any other fender bender on a Sunday night in spring. Two cars collide outside of an apartment complex on Cypress Wood.
Airbags are supposed to save your life, not take your life.
That minor fender bender resulted in a death of the driver of the 2002 Honda Accord. Investigators say a man who bled out.
All I saw was a cut protruding on his neck. So at that point, I just applied more pressure.
That driver is 35-year-old Carlos Solis. He was riding with an 11-year-old in the car at the time of the crash who walked away without a scratch.
It was unreal. I didn't want to believe it. I still don't want to believe it. Trying to wake him up. That's all I can say I was doing.
Harris County investigators on the scene in spring were baffled and didn't have an explanation.
The driver of the Honda was found deceased on scene.
But it was only a matter of days after the wreck before the Solis family says investigators contacted them, pointing the finger at the deploying Takata airbag in the Honda Carlos was driving. A preliminary medical examiner's report shows he died from blunt force trauma. Honda reps are investigating the death, saying it has confirmed that the Takata driver's airbag inflator ruptured in the crash.
First of all, it's the airbag manufacturer's fault. Reading the reports I was reading, they don't want to take responsibility for this, and they were trying to ignore it and sweep it under the rug.
Solis is referring to a national safety report indicating at least 5 people have died after their airbag manufactured by Takata deployed. An airbag that was subject of a recall going back as far as 2008. The recall indicates metal objects could shoot from the airbag, causing serious injury to the driver. Remember, Carlos had a hole in his neck.
We just want to get the word out that something needs to be done about this, instead of pushing it to the side.
As we mentioned, there is a recall on Carlos's car because of the airbag. The problem was Solis just recently purchased a vehicle used. His family says he was not in Honda's database for a recall notification, so he drove that car not knowing it was a ticking time bomb.
Any year, make, model of that car, they should be calling you, trying to get you to come in and fix it, not just send letters out randomly in the mail. Our mail service already is bad.
Joining me live now here in the Factor Uncensored is Houston attorney Michael Fleming. You specialize in airbag cases. What about this particular case? When you buy a car used, there's recall and you don't know about it. What happens?
It's a terrible situation, Isiah, because as in this case, there could be people that buy a car second, third, fourth hand, a car that has been the subject of recall notices, but not had the work done to fix a dangerous problem.
Should the manufacturers do more and the airbag manufacturers do more when they know they have a potential ticking time bomb in a car?
Without a doubt. And because you have situations where many years go by and millions of cars are sold and millions of cars are still on the road that are subject to the recall and haven't been fixed. And people buy the car at a used car lot or from an individual, and they have no idea that they're driving a ticking time bomb, as you say.
And do they have a case here? You saw the report there. Do you think the Solis family has a good case?
It certainly looks like the cause of this poor man's death was this defective airbag. And, there have been reports that this manufacturer concealed investigations they did early on, years and years ago, that indicated there was a problem with this airbag design.
All right. Michael Fleming, attorney here in Houston. We want to thank you for joining us on the Isiah Factor Uncensored. Thank you, sir. Back to you guys.